John Barla had previously suggested creating a union territory comprising North Bengal districts. Now, the bifurcation demand has become a fresh flashpoint between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress. The BJP, which is Sukanta Majumdar, in its defense has claimed that via this move, North Bengal will get more funds, will get more developmental projects. But the Trinamool Congress has fumed at it. They say that this is against the people of Bengal. The BJP says if bifurcation is done, then North Bengal can use the funds of the Northeast region as well. The donor ministry that looks at this region will then be able to give focus to North Bengal as well. The TMC, meanwhile, sees this as nothing but a conspiracy by the BJP after their loss. BJP adds that if bifurcation is approved, then North Bengal will benefit more from central government schemes, which often the BJP has accused TMC of not implementing in West Bengal. Trinamool Congress calls this a separatist move. They say this is against the constitution and the very oath that Sukanta Majumdar has taken. While the TMC calls this bifurcation an evil design to divide the state, the BJP has rejected that allegation. They say that we don't want to divide or separate West Bengal. All we want is progress of this particular region. Now, demand for bifurcation has put the focus on what this region looks like and why the BJP believes it shares more similarities with the Northeast than with Bengal. That's one of the arguments Sukanta Majumdar made while he gave that presentation to the Prime Minister. Now, North Bengal comprises 8 districts: Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri, Uttar Dinajpur, Dakshin Dinajpur, Cooch Behar, Malda, Alipurduar and Kalimpong. The districts of Darjeeling and Jalpaiguri are characterized by a higher proportion of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities, while the remaining districts are largely rural. Agriculture pretty much is the main source of income there. This region also shares a border with Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh. Now, Hindus who've benefited from the CAA, who found refuge from persecution in Bangladesh, have made this particular region of North Bengal their home. Now, demands for separation as far as West Bengal is concerned, they're not new. Before this North Bengal statehood demand shaped up, there have been several movements to press for at least 3 different independent regions that fall into this entire category or this entire 8-district portion. The movement for a separate state of Gorkha land was first started by Gorkha National Liberation Front through a violent agitation back in the 1980s. In 2017, that issue once again flared up. We saw a 104-day shutdown in Darjeeling Hills and a violent agitation. There's chorus for another region and for their independence. The Kamtapuris, known as the Cooch Rajbanshis, they belong to the scheduled caste community. They come from Cooch Behar. They have agitated for a separate state of Kamtapur. They want to make this separate state of 7 out of those 8 districts of North Bengal, but also want 4 districts of Assam to be added. Now, that chorus has fizzled out since the 2000s. Greater Cooch Behar movement since 1998 has demanded a separate state comprising 7 districts of North Bengal and 3 districts of Assam. However, this particular movement has not received any support from major political parties in West Bengal. There has been no major agitation on that front since 2008 either. Now, there are more than one layers of why such demands have been made and why it's the BJP that in the recent past has been speaking of North Bengal and North Bengal not getting its due. Politically speaking, this region has been favourable to the Saffron Party, a stronger vote bank for the BJP than South Bengal. Now, North Bengal has 8 Lok Sabha seats. In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BJP won 7 out of 8 there. In the recently concluded 2024 elections, the BJP lost 1 of those 7 seats that they had, but still managed to keep those 6. 2 of them went to the India bloc, 1 to the TMC, 1 to the Congress. So politically as well, there is a lot at stake for the BJP. So then, is this demand about Vikas and progress of the region, or is this merely about vote bank? That's the question we ask.
যে প্রেজেন্টেশন তুলে দিয়ে এসেছি যাতে নর্থ ইস্টের সাথে উত্তরবঙ্গের সিমিলারিটি কী কী আছে এবং তার ফলে উত্তরবঙ্গকে নর্থ ইস্টের অন্তর্ভুক্ত করা যেতে পারে এই ধরনের প্রপোজাল আমি মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীকে দিয়েছি।
कोई ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं है, वो भारत सरकार कर सकता है बोल के बता दिया, और दूसरा बात करने का जरूरत नहीं है, वो उसका कोई अधिकार नहीं है इस तरह का स्टेटमेंट देने का।
पश्चिम बंगाल का बजट सालाना बजट 3.78 लाख करोड़ है और बदले में नॉर्थ बंगाल डेवलपमेंट के लिए जहां 3 करोड़ की आबादी रहती है उनको 880 860 करोड़ रुपए मिलता है, जो 0.002% के आसपास होता है।
Is preposterous, is anti-Bengal. This is an effort to divide Bengal.
Joining me on this edition, spokesperson of West Bengal BJP, Saurav Sikdar, Riju Datta, spokesperson of the TMC, consulting editor of First Post, Sukanta Majumdar joins us as well, and election strategist Amitabh Tiwari. But first, let me begin by asking Saurav Sikdar, what exactly does Sukanta Majumdar mean when he says that we want North Bengal to be part of Northeast? Because the argument that Mr. Majumdar is making is not something that the TMC accepts. They say this is nothing but dividing the state as a whole.
Well, I want to make it very clear, the statement of Dr. Sukanta Majumdar has been mistranslated. He also said that we are not demanding any other state, any separate state, as North Bengal is close to Northeast, is attached to Northeast. So, if some development work can be done through his Northeast Development Ministry and central government, that's what he said. And he clearly clarified that BJP, neither BJP nor he himself is demanding for any other state. So if we North Bengal, I also belong from North Bengal, if we get something extra from central government, so as a North Bengal Basi, I should be happy. Because North Bengal is a neglected part of West Bengal, and West Bengal government never do such development, or it is not in priority. If you can see a whole cabinet of Mamata Banerjee, what is the representation of the entire North Bengal? Is very less, and North Bengal has a very security potential also. Chicken neck is there. So I mean, development is North Bengal. He is elected from North Bengal itself. So he is just asking for development of North Bengal. If something extra can get, I am again. Let me clear you. We are not demanding for any other state, any separate state.
So
this
it's
is
not
only
secession.
For development of
it's
North
not
Bengal.
secession, as the TMC says, is what you're saying. But Riju Datta, this is an allegation that the BJP has made, including the finance minister just 2 days ago, that central schemes do not get implemented in West Bengal. That is another reason why Mr. Majumdar is why Mr. Sukanta Majumdar is asking these questions, or why he wants this proposal, is what he says.
Now, let me say this. What Sukanta Majumdar said, his statement and his application to the Honorable Prime Minister is a political lollipop just to confuse the people of North Bengal by tickling their emotions regarding North Bengal. And the surprising part, Poonam, is this is not the words of Trinamool Congress. This is the words of a North Bengal Karsiang BJP member of Legislative Assembly, BJP MLA, Vishnu Prasad Sharma. He himself today has come to the media and said, Sukanta Majumdar wants to confuse the people of North Bengal. This is impossible. This is just a political lollipop to tickle the emotions of the people of North Bengal. This is BJP's MLA's words. Now, secondly, under the leadership of Sukanta Majumdar, who himself won by third recounting at 1 o'clock in the morning, BJP's numbers from 22 MPs has gone down to 12. Now, out of these 12 MPs, there are only 2 half-pant ministers that has been made by the union government. So, BJP politically is bankrupt in Bengal. Now, to somehow, for its existence, for its survival, Sukanta Majumdar is creating this narrative of Bengal division. And this is not the first time. Their MP from Alipurduar, John Balla, did it. Nishit Pramanik, Deputy Home from Kuch Bihar, has done it. And even the current BJP Rajya Sabha MP Anand Maharaj said today outside the parliament to your reporter that I want a separate state, a union territory of Kuch Bihar. So these descendants of Radcliffe and Suravardis, their nature is to divide Bengal. Bengal has been partitioned before. Millions and millions of people have lost everything. Trinamool Congress, till the last drop of their blood, will not will see that BJP does not succeed in their mission to divide Bengal. We will protest it till the end. And trust me, if you have representatives in Bengal, forget political narrative. Ask the people of Bengal the amount of outrage and hatred they have towards BJP now after this statement of Sukanta Majumdar. I am telling you with full authority, by 2026, BJP will be erased in Bengal. They will be erased because this is a very sentimental issue. We will not let Sukanta Majumdar or BJP hamper the integrity of Bengal. North Bengal is an essential part of Bengal. We will not let BJP and Sukanta Majumdar play this tricks on Bengal.
It is totally misinterruption, Riju. Sukanta Majumdar never asked for any other state, or he never wants to divide Bengal.
Today Ananta Maharaj said outside the parliament to CNN News 18, the union government has promised me a separate state of Kuch Bihar. I am telling you, Poonam, again in harsher words. Sukanta Majumdar and BJP in Bengal are. I am telling. One second, Saurabh. One second. I am saying this, Poonam, to you in harsh words. Sukanta Majumdar and BJP Bengal, who wants to divide Bengal, are terrorists against the state of Bengal. It is just like asking for partition of Kashmir from India. It is equivalent to that. They are terrorists against the state of Bengal, and the people of Bengal will give them a befitting.
You are totally taking it to a wrong way, Riju.
But Saurav Sikdar, you may say that Sukanta Majumdar's comment was misinterpreted. But what about everybody else? Raju Bista, member of parliament from Darjeeling, has said the same thing. Anand Maharaj to us said the same thing, that I have been given an assurance. Many within the BJP in the past have also made such calls. So it may be I'll give you the benefit of the doubt as far as Sukanta Majumdar is concerned, maybe. But what about everyone else? They seem to echo that same sentiment. Saurav Sikdar.
Poonam, Raju Bista.
I'll get you. I'll get you in Riju Datta. Let him respond, please. Saurav Sikdar, yes.
Dr. Sukanta Majumdar is the president of West Bengal BJP till date. So whatever he is saying, I mean, that is the official statement of the party. Now what Ananta Maharaj says, or what anybody other said, that may be their own comment. That may be their own opinion. But as a president of West Bengal BJP, Dr. Sukanta Majumdar made it very clear we are not demanding for any other state.
Poonam, can I come in, please? Yeah.
Yes, 30 seconds, Riju Datta. I need to get in the other two gentlemen as well. 30 seconds, Riju Datta.
My logic is this: if Sukanta Majumdar's statement is final and written on rock, then why did you send Anand Maharaj to BJP Rajya Sabha, from BJP to the Rajya Sabha? A Rajya Sabha MP is saying we want a separate state, and let's not forget, it is Raju Bista, the BJP MP of Darjeeling,
Trinamool Congress also there are lots of contradictions.
From Bengal Congress also there are lots of contradictions.
If you want, I can give you many.
Okay, Riju Datta and Saurav Sikdar, I believe you've made your point. Contradictions may lie in all parties, but the BJP is the one that's facing these questions, Saurav Sikdar, and that can't be denied. I want to get in Abhijit Majumdar as well. Like we've been pointing out, the BJP, especially as far as West Bengal is concerned, there are many members of parliament, many leaders in the past who've also made such calls, but that hasn't resonated with the central leadership. Is this just another instance like that?
See, there are several aspects to this problem. It's not a straightforward issue where everything is in grey, white, and black. Yes, there have been calls. Yes, there is. Is there a need to focus more on North Bengal? In terms of budgetary, in terms of monetary allocations, developmental projects, etc. Yes. Now, is the BJP trying to use this issue because it sees itself having a strong footing in North Bengal? Yes. But you must understand that there is, in Bengal, any talk of, separating one region from another is, one has to be very, very careful about it, because this is a state which has seen two partitions. One and anything. I mean, it may be a hyperbole what Riju is saying about Suravardhi and about Radcliffe and etc. or creation of another nation in Kashmir. It may be hyperbole, but one has to be sensitive to the psyche of Bengalis. They have seen partition. There. I don't think a large, most Bengalis would want Bengal to be divided in terms of state. Now, whether Sukanta Majumdar said, that the state has to, must be divided and all that, I don't think so. There he says, Shukanto says, I believe, just give me a second. He says, উত্তরবঙ্গ পশ্চিমবঙ্গের অংশ হিসেবে নর্থ ইস্টের সাথে যদি যায় তাহলে উত্তরবঙ্গে কেন্দ্রীয় সরকারের প্রকল্পগুলো আছে, তার টাকা অনেক বেশি পাওয়া যাবে. So he says that if North Bengal as a part of West Bengal, is brought into the Northeast basket, donor basket, I suppose he means.
Yes.
And the region will get a lot more funds and all that. But, this has been BJP's biggest Achilles heel, communication. The way it has been communicated, see, within a few hours, there has been so much talk, there has been so much sort of speculation about it. I feel that the BJP leadership, the state leadership, central leadership, before going to public with this, should have got its communication right. We have seen how with, despite having no intent to, do away with reservations, how it has been twisted, and BJP paid a very high price in the central elections, in the Lok Sabha elections. And again, I think something at one point of time, BJP used to be this, mighty communication machinery. I doubt if it has, that kind of efficiency now. So when commenting about anything in Bengal, especially, which is a very sensitive state, BJP should be doubly, triply careful.
Right, and ever since that controversy erupted, there has been no clarification either from Sukanta Majumdar or anybody from the central leadership of the BJP, and that has only added more fuel to the fire. But let me ask Amitabh Tiwari, is this the BJP's way of perhaps trying to pander to a certain vote bank? What happened in the recent Lok Sabha elections as far as West Bengal goes, that's not what the BJP was aiming for or expecting perhaps. We have state elections there in a year and a half or so. Is this one of their attempts to try and consolidate that sort of support that they have that's perhaps now limited to North Bengal?
Yeah, so essentially the demand for a separate state is not new. However, as you mentioned, BJP won 6 of the 12 seats it has won from North Bengal. So half of its tally is coming from North Bengal. It has 50 to 60 Vidhan Sabha seats. Now we will be having Vidhan Sabha elections pretty soon in 2026 in West Bengal. So now what the BJP is hoping that since they have won 6 seats here, they perhaps would like to consolidate their position in these 6 to 8 Lok Sabha seats. Now, as Abhijit Da has said, since this separation issue is very sensitive and a touchy issue in West Bengal, perhaps the communication, the way it has been communicated, is not correct. See, BJP clearly has lost the narrative in West Bengal, as we've seen in successive elections after they did pretty well in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. See, what the demand is, if you see on a positive side, that this region is a neglected region. It has not developed as well compared to the rest of Bengal. So if it is put or clubbed with the northeastern region, what happens is, in the northeast, in a case of a central scheme, 90% of the funds are provided by the center. While in a normal scheme, only 50 states, only 50% of the funds are provided by the central region. So perhaps the BJP aim is to get credit for development in the northeast, but since the communication and the narrative has not been spelled out correctly, This is what it is leading to.
Riju Datta, the development of North Bengal, the implementation or the lack thereof of central schemes in West Bengal has been a subject of debate for a while now. Is that an argument that the TMC can counter effectively?
I'll give you two answers. Give me the courtesy of time.
Yes, please, go ahead.
If North Bengal, after the left regime, the amount of universities and the hospitals that have been opened, the results, the Lok Sabha results, that Deputy Home Minister, MOS Home lost from Kuch Bihar. Why? Because the Rajbanshis are happy with Trinamool Congress. Sukanta Majumdar himself almost lost the election. Why? Because the people of North Bengal are happy. In Hills, for the first time, we are having peaceful elections in Mamata Banerjee's regime. But my pointed question to your panelists and to the viewers of CNN News 18 is this. Amritpal Singh, who is an MP, who has won by 20 lakh votes of the people of Punjab, is being deemed a terrorist by the union government. Why? Because he wants a separate state of Khalistan, right? So in the same aspect, if Sukanta Majumdar and Ananta Maharaj is asking for a separate state out of Bengal, why they cannot be, why they are not called terrorists, why they are not booked under UP and under Anti-Terrorist Act and put behind bars? Why this double standards? If Amritpal Singh is deemed as a terrorist because he wants a separate state, then why will you call Sukanta Majumdar and Anant Maharaj your MPs and make them sit in the parliament with you? It is the same yardstick.
Sure, but Abhijit Majumdar, is that comparing apples to oranges in this particular case? Is this analogy taking it a bit too far?
I think
because
Riju has forgotten
clearly
Bengali.
Khalistan, they are asking for a separate nation. Yeah, it is not secession to ask for a different state. Otherwise, Telangana and whoever asked for a separate Telangana and Andhra should all be in jail for sedition, secession, separatism, whatever, terrorism. So, it doesn't hold water. That argument doesn't hold water. But yes, as I said earlier, anything that kind of even hints at dividing Bengal is going to be sensitive, very sensitive in Bengal. So they're not asking for a separate. Even those who are saying that North Bengal ko alag sa state bana do. That is not separatism. That is,
sure. Sure, so that's the BJP's argument that we're not asking for a separate country. But, Saurav Sikdar, the questions are being asked of the BJP because on multiple occasions in the past, when such comments were made by your principal opposition, the BJP went hammer and tongs. If you remember in February when the budget was announced and we had a former member of parliament of the Congress party, DK Suresh, who came out and said that we don't get funds, perhaps we have to be a separate part to get those funds. Is this the same kind of analogy that you're making, that we separate us from the state of West Bengal because funds are not given to us?
No. I think you cannot understand Bengali, but Riju can understand Bengali, or he forgotten Bengali. Where Sukanta Majumdar has asked for any separate state, why he is twisting the word and he is counting the medical college and hospitals. I am counting the Chopra and Mathabhanga. What happened in North Bengal? What is the law and order situation in North Bengal? Do you have any answer, Riju?
Oh, come on.
In North Bengal, the crime rate is much.
Yes, my answer is ask your bosses.
No. Whatever you say, that is acceptable. And when I am revealing the truth, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. What happened in Mathabhanga? What happened in Chopra? Are we living in Afghanistan?
Speaking of law and order, and that's a completely different issue. The state of West Bengal and the law and order is something that the TMC and the state government is responsible for. They will answer for that. But that's not the argument that Sukanta Majumdar is making. He says that we're not getting enough funds for North Bengal. There isn't enough development in North Bengal, which is why we want it to be shifted towards the northeast, then stay with West Bengal. That's the argument he's trying to make. And if it's a law and order issue, then that same argument should be applied for the rest of Bengal as well, right, Mr. Sikdar?
Where he said that we are demanding any other state, demanding for other state. He never said that we are demanding for other state or North Bengal should be separated from West Bengal.
Sure, but then if that's not what he meant, why has he not come out and clarified so far? He could have nipped it in the bud. It's been several hours since that comment has come to the fore.
He has clarified in Bengali. Yes, He has clarified in Bengali that I can show you the video also where he said I never asked for any
Can I
other
come in?
state.
Sure. Yes, Riju Datta, 30 seconds. I don't have enough time on this. 30 seconds, but for your rebuttal. Go ahead.
My last 30 seconds and my submission is Sukanta Majumdar is now a minister. In the recently concluded, Hum Do Hamare Do budget or the Nitish and Naidu budget, Bengal is completely deprived. He is an MP from Bengal. There are 12 MPs from Bengal from BJP. Why haven't you got the guts to tell the union government to release the Manrega funds? The state government
This
paid the
Sukanta
Manrega
Majumdar
workers
only
59 lakhs of them.
said,
The Awas funds,
give me accounts.
why you cannot get the funds?
Give us
This
account.
fool cannot get the funds.
I will
and
help
now is
you to
asking
get
for a
the money.
separate state.
Didn't he say? Didn't he say?
So this,
You
this
don't
fight
have
over
birth
funds,
with
this
the
fight
account.
over funds
Being
seems to
accused
be
of
who you speak to, the opinion about funds differs. If you speak to the BJP, they say the centre has been giving so many schemes, none of which are getting implemented in West Bengal. If you speak to the TMC says, oh, but we are not getting the funds that we ask for. But Amitabh Tiwari, is this going to have an impact on the elections? Is this something that the BJP says, just a trivial or a frivolous controversy that's been made out of twisting someone's words? Or is this something that would have a bearing on the voters' mind? Could this backfire for the BJP come state elections?
Well, see, essentially, the TMC has been playing up the Bengali Asmita pride card fairly well. And the BJP, whatever said and done, has been caught in this insider versus outsider fight in the state. So what happens is that, see, this is at a time when West Bengal and other opposition states have been claiming that they have been getting lesser funds from this budget as well as earlier as well, the dues which you mentioned. This is a positive development because funds will be going to a portion of the state which is less developed, let's say, compared to the south of Bengal. But the fight is for the taking credit of this. If this happens, then obviously BJP would like to take credit for it in the West Bengal elections, which TMC would not be happy about. And the way it
So
has
it all
been
boils down to perhaps which narrative really is communicated better, which narratives finds resonance on ground in the voters' mind. I have to leave it at that, but I thank you all gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective. We have to take a quick break on this edition of Plain Speak, but on the other side, we'll get you the showdown that's taking place in Karnataka. It's the graft, taint and multiple scam allegations that the Congress government in Karnataka faces. The BJP demanding Chief Minister Siddaramaya's resignation. Can the Congress counter this allegation effectively?
The state, particularly when you speak of Pune, Mulchi area as well as Baudhan, apart from that Raigad area, is where we've seen waterlogging. In fact, in several places in Pune, waterlogging is there's 2 to 3 feet waterlogging where there are several NDRF teams which have been deployed in and around Pune to rescue people. Apart from that, of course, there are. We also see that there is a heavy rain alert for the next 48 hours in the entire state of Maharashtra, in Raigad as well. We see that the heavy rains have been experienced, which is where not only Pune but also Raigad, schools in Raigad have also been declared an off for today, considering the heavy rains. Yes.
Also, Yesha, what is the situation looking like in Mumbai? Considering a little bit of rain, especially in low-lying areas, really spells a lot of havoc there. It is a trouble for commuters, to say the least. So what is the situation there?
So yes, of course, there's been incessant rains in Mumbai ever since late last night. However, as of now, schools and colleges have been kept. As of now, there's no holiday declared for schools and colleges. But of course, several low-lying areas, like you rightly mentioned, including Andheri subway and several such locations, they've been there is waterlogging that's been experienced, and such subways have been shut. So yes, though we see that when it comes to local trains, it's the lifeline of Mumbai that in fact impacts the most. That impacts the commute most in Mumbai. As of now, those are running well, but when it comes to several low-lying areas, there is waterlogging that's already started in several parts of the city. Yes.
Right, thank you so much for that, Yesha. Let me also take this across to my colleague Vivek Gupta from News 18 India, who's with us on the broadcast. Vivek, the situation in Pune and other adjoining areas has really worsened. Orange and red alerts for Navi Mumbai as well. What is it looking like for this entire week, considering there's one more day for the schools to probably be allowed to not function because of the rain? So what are you learning in that regard?
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। देखिए, पुणे में कल देर रात से काफ़ी ज़्यादा तेज़ बारिश हो रही है और इतनी ज़्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से पुणे कलेक्टर ने डिसाइड किया है कि सभी स्कूलों को अब इस पुणे में बंद कर दिया गया है और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जितने भी आसपास के इलाके हैं वहाँ पर फ्लडिंग हो रही है। फ्लडिंग की वजह से रोड और घरों तक पूरा तरह से पानी भर चुका है। लोगों को काफ़ी ज़्यादा परेशानी झेलनी पड़ रही है। इसी वजह से अब पुणे कलेक्टर ने एक एडवाइजरी जारी की है और साफ तौर पे कहा है कि पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित कर दिया गया है। सभी स्कूलों को बंद कर दिया गया है, जिसके बाद जो भी इमरजेंसी काम ना हो वो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, क्योंकि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यह है कि खड़क पासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी को छोड़ा जा रहा है। अगर बारिश इसी तरह कंटिन्यू रही तो पुणे के आसपास के इलाकों में और भी पानी भर सकता है। यही वजह है कि पुणे कलेक्टर ने सभी लोगों से कहा है कि कोई भी जरूरी काम ना हो तो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, गवर्नमेंट और प्रशासन की हेल्प करें और गवर्नमेंट और जो वहाँ के लोकल म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन है वो अपनी पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो फ्लडिंग एरिया है वहाँ से जल्द पानी को निकाला जा सके। लेकिन अब जो स्थिति है वो ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं दिख पा रही है। कई इलाकों में खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं पुणे और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के, वहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा पानी भर चुका है। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि खड़कवासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी छोड़ने की वजह से जो फ्लडिंग है वो और भी होती जा रही है और पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित किया गया है।
राइट, ऑल्सो विवेक, क्या मुंबई की अगर बात करें तो क्या स्थिति है और स्पेशली लो लाइंग एरियाज के लिए क्या एडवाइजरी है?
देखिए, अगर खाली मुंबई की बात करें तो सुबह 8 बजे से पहले मुंबई में येलो अलर्ट था, लेकिन कंटिन्यू बारिश होने की वजह से अब जो है वो जो येलो अलर्ट है वो ऑरेंज अलर्ट में कन्वर्ट हो चुका है। और आईएमडी के लोगों का कहना है कि सुबह 10 बजे तक ये येलो अलर्ट होगा। 10 बजे के बाद फिर से मॉनिटरिंग की जाएगी सिचुएशन को, उसके बाद कॉल लिया जाएगा कि येलो ऑरेंज अलर्ट को आगे मॉडिफाई करना है या नहीं। इसी वजह से मुंबई के भी कई इलाकों में बारिश हो रही है, खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं कुर्ला, चेंबूर, विक्रोली, घाटकोपर, इन जगहों पर वो वाटर लॉगिंग की थोड़ी जो शिकायतें वो आ रही हैं। लेकिन फिलहाल अगर बात की जाए तो ऑरेंज अलर्ट है। जो सबब की बात करें तो मिलन सबवे, अंधेरी सबवे, खार सबवे को बंद कर दिया गया है क्योंकि इस पूरे सबवे में पानी भर चुका है और यही कोशिश की जा रही है कि जो बीएमसी ने मानसून से पहले जो तैयारियां की थी, हर जगह वाटर पंप लगाए गए हैं, उन सभी वाटर पंप के जरिए से पानी को निकाला जाए। लेकिन ऑरेंज अलर्ट होने के बावजूद भी मुंबई और आसपास के इलाकों में तेज बारिश हो रही है। नवी मुंबई और थाने, इन दोनों डिस्ट्रिक्ट को रेड अलर्ट में रखा गया है, वहां पर भी बहुत ज्यादा तेज बारिश।
Welcome back. Karnataka government seems to be on the back foot. There is massive criticism over a series of scam allegations that have unfolded in the state. But what's got the BJP's attention recently is the alleged scam in the Mysuru Urban Development Authority and its link with the Chief Minister himself. BJP and JDS launched an overnight stir in the Karnataka Assembly. They slept there. They were seen enjoying their time overnight, even as they demanded a discussion in the Assembly on this alleged scam and the irregularities. The BJP has been pressing for a debate on this scam, but the Congress has declined one. The BJP, in fact, even went and met the governor just a short while ago, and the Chief Minister has now been asked to respond to why this debate must not happen, as to what the allegations are and what the state government has done. The governor has sought this report. Coalition partners there, which are the opposition, have alleged that Chief Minister Siddaramaya's wife had illegally benefited from this alleged scam. This is just one of the allegations that they've made just in the recent past. Remember, the Karnataka government is not an old one, but ever since it's come to power, it seems to be embattling these allegations. Multiple of these allegations that they face. Is the Congress government completely cornered? And if yes, can they effectively counter this narrative? That's what we ask our guest tonight.
Opposition party demanding for discussion. They are avoiding discussion shows prima facie case that they are culprit.
तो स्वयं मुख्यमंत्री खड़े होके लूट रहा है कर्नाटक सरकार के पैसे को। We have already demanded Mr. Siddaramaiah should step down.
SIT is taking an investigation. Now ED, CBI has entered. We said we are not able to stop them. They have right to come.
All CBI, ED, Income Tax, Election Commission, even all other institutions are demoralized by BJP government.
Let's open this up. Narendra Rangappa, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us. Spokesperson of the Congress, Lavanya Ballal, and journalist Dr. Basavaraj Itnar joins us as well. Let me begin by asking Lavanya Ballal, why is the government not wanting to have a discussion in the assembly?
Good evening. It's not about the government not wanting to have a discussion. It is about the BJP's false allegation. They keep claiming there has been a scam in the Muda. And a CM's wife has benefited from this. The land was allocated to her. The Muda has allocated the sites to her. When Mr. Basavaraj Bommai was the CM, it was a BJP CM. It's tenure, which saw these actions by Muda. Muda also took over the properties without giving any intimation to the people. It's not just her. There are multiple recipients. 3,000 sites were allocated by Muda, out of which 14 has been allocated to Ms. Parvati Siddaramaiah. Now the question is, the BJP must answer, why did the Muda do this when BJP was in power? It was not the previous Siddaramaiah government, or it was not the current Siddaramaiah government which has allocated these sites. No action was taken at all when Siddaramaiah was in power or is in power. The entire thing happened when the BJP was in power. So when they keep claiming, hey, the scam has happened. So are they saying the scam happened under their tenure? And they want us to investigate it now? That is the most important question that the BJP must answer. What happened in Muda while Mr. Basavaraj Bommai was the CM of Karnataka?
Mr. Rangappa, these are questions that the BJP has not been effectively able to answer up until now. That the allegations that you make are from a time when the BJP was in power. In fact, when Mr. Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister before that, he had denied to allocate any of this, saying there would be a conflict of interest because my family members are involved. It eventually passed down to the time when the BJP came to power and a BJP Chief Minister, under a BJP Chief Minister, this had happened.
Can you give me 2 minutes of uninterrupted time?
Yes, please, sir, go ahead.
So that I could just enlighten our viewers with the chronology of events that have happened. In 1992, the Muda issues a notification to acquire a few land surveys, and one among them is land survey number 464 in Kesare, to acquire it for Devnur layout in 1992. Primary notice for acquisition. In 1997, this particular land is acquired by the Muda, and final notification is done, and the award of 3.26 lakh is made to the owner of the land. Okay. Then, in 1998, Mr. Siddaramaiah, the Deputy Chief Minister in J.H. Patel government, gets this particular land which is notified and awarded. Please underline this, it is awarded. Means the land is taken by the Muda and Muda has paid the compensation money to the landowner. First mistake. CM denotifies it in 1998. 1998, Siddaramaiah was the Deputy Chief Minister. He was the most influential person in Mysore. And it is denotified in the name of Mr. Linga Dalit. The same land is denotified after the Muda has given compensation, after the award has been done. The Deputy Chief Minister denotifies it to the name of Linga, who is dead 3 years back. Then subsequently in 2004, Mr. Mallikarjuna Swamy, the brother-in-law of Mr. Siddaramaiah, brother of Srimati Parvatama, wife of Mr. Siddaramaiah, he buys this land from this Dalit family in 2004. See, denotified, award done, again denotified in the dead man's name. He then buys from the dead man's name to himself. Then in 2004, he purchases the land from Linga. And he gets the sale deed in his name. Who? Mallikarjuna Swamy, brother-in-law of Mr. Siddaramaiah. Then he goes to the deputy commissioner. He goes to the deputy commissioner and converts this land for purpose of housing requirement. The DC, I have a letter, conversion letter, application for conversion, grant of conversion. Then in 2010, he gifts it to Srimati Parvatamma as a gift deed. So the land goes to Srimati Parvatamma. Incidentally, the RTC still shows in the 12th column that the still land belongs to Muda in the EC. In the encumbrance certificate that I have a copy of, shows it is still in the name of Muda in the 12th column in 2010, which is again illegal. So in 2013, what happens? Mr. Siddaramaiah files his affidavit for the assembly elections. He fails to mention this particular land's details in the affidavit filed to the election commission during the election. 2013. 2010, the land is transferred to Srimati Parvatamma. 2014, they claim for compensation. Then the Muda, which is of course filled with Mr. Siddaramaiah's members, they say 50-50 compensation formula. Mr. Siddaramaiah refuses. Again in 2017, same formula is used, he refuses. But in 2023, what happens is, they grant compensation to this land in an alternative land where they have given 14 sites in a layout called Vijayanagar layout, which is a premium layout. According to the Urban Development Act, you should give a compensatory land if it is available in the same place, that is in Devanur or Kesare. If not, you should give it in the layout that is to come forward, not retrospective. So this is the issue here. How did you not mention it in 2013? Then who bought the land after it was denotified again, awarded and denotified? Then why did you refuse it in 2017? Why did you not mention it in 2030, your election affidavit?
Sure.
These are the questions that the Congress needs to answer.
Sure, you asked all these questions to the Congress and Lavanya Balal will respond to that, but you still haven't answered the question I asked you. But yes, Lavanya Balal, go ahead.
Sorry.
I would like to respond with one quick response.
No, let her respond to the mistakes that you listed out.
20 seconds,
Sure, go ahead, 20 seconds.
2023, this land is allotted to Srimati Parvatamma, wife of Mr. Siddaramaiah. By whom? By one Mr. Rajiv, who was the Muda chairman, and he is in Siddaramaiah camp Congress today. This was the person who did all this and ran away to Congress party. He did this to please Siddaramaiah.
But so BJP was in power. Are you saying the BJP didn't know what was going under your own nose?
The person who did is in Congress today. Rajiv is in Congress. He was the Muda chairman. Now Siddaramaiah is protecting him. This is the answer.
Sure. Okay, Lavanya Balal, you had a rebuttal to make to the allegations that Mr. Rangappa is making.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's very cute. It's very cute when the BJP refuses to take responsibility and says Deputy CM Siddaramaiah was the most powerful man in Karnataka, very conveniently ignoring that their alliance partner was the CM in Karnataka at that point of time in 2008. And also the entire scam once again, I repeat, happened under the BJP governance. And today, if that man has switched parties, like a lot of people are switching parties from Congress to BJP, BJP to Congress, there are a few people who have switched parties. So to blame Siddaramaiah for something that the BJP government has willfully done and has ignored a scam that was happening under the BJP governance is just to avoid discussion
Mr.
in
Rangappa, you
Vidhan
had your
Sabha.
time. Let her finish. I'll come back to you.
They do not want to discuss the sexual allegations of their coalition partner, that is Rock Hassan, the two sons of very prominent leader, the former CM, the current union minister's nephews, the former prime minister's grandchildren, two of them, who were jailed and who are going in and out of jail on bail by assaulting people. This is something they do not want to discuss in Vidhan Sabha.
It's the same allegation that the BJP is making against the Congress, Mr. Rangappa. You say that the Congress is running away from answering questions. The Congress is accusing you of the same thing, that you don't want to give answers. Sure,
Not
we'll
the
talk about
scandal
scams.
by JDS.
We'll talk about these alleged scams. We'll talk about corruption. Dr. Itnar, in the run-up to the elections in Karnataka, not too long ago, corruption was the plank that Congress fought on. They came up with a list of allegations of alleged scams under the BJP. It's interesting how tables have turned now.
Absolutely, Poonam. That's what I've been telling on various platforms and channels, is that people blessed Congress with 136 seats because of that 40% taint on Bommai government. And now, whatever Ms. Lavanya is saying is true, probably it appears to be true because everything seems to happen during BJP regime. But why are they denying the debate? If it is so, say that on the floor of the House. Not only that, actually, by refusing this debate, Congress has simply, it is a mistake on the part of Congress, because Congress missed an opportunity to rebut and counter BJP allegations with BJP's misdeeds, with how many sites were allotted during BJP regime, all that. In fact, without any exception, many politicians have been benefited by BDA, by MUDA, by all these urban development authorities. It is a Pandora's box. In fact, we need to have a comprehensive investigation into all these political beneficiaries of layouts of all these urban development authorities. That's number one. Number two, on the BJP actually, this whatever they are doing, it's the democratic right. But they are on a very strong wicket in the case of Valmiki board scam, because I feel that BJP is not putting much weight behind that investigation, because in Valmiki board case, it is not a simple case of corruption where somebody has called a tender for some 1 crore rupees work, and he has awarded 5 crores and then 50-50 commission taken. Not that. Simply somebody has transferred the money lying in the account of the board to his friends and contacts, acquaintances, to be used in elections, to be spent on liquor. That's what ED note says today. So that's very clear. It's a huge embarrassment to Siddaramaiah, because Siddaramaiah came to power on the platform of Ahinda. The backward communities, he is known to be a backward community face. He is known to be a pioneer of backward communities' welfare. Now, what happened when a backward community leader becomes the chief minister? The money earmarked for backward communities' welfare is stolen. It is not corruption, it is simple theft. And today, whatever SIT or ED that is investigation going on, it is not whether there was a scam or not. No, scam has been admitted to by the same himself from the front of the house. Today, the investigation is who is more culpable. That's the legal part. But all I want to ask is, does Siddaramaiah has any moral face to show his backward community brethren? Does he have the moral courage now? What happened to that face of Ahinda pioneer? For last 15 years, Siddaramaiah's politics is Ahinda, backward community and minorities. And such minority case, soon after Rajya Sabha elections, there was a slogan, Pakistan Jindabad. There was an investigation which proved that it was Pakistan Jindabad. Somebody shouted that slogan in Vidhan Sabha. Right. And that's a minority, bias of Siddaramaiah. Then what happened is backward community welfare. He's stealing the money under his watch by the minister appointed by him, who is also an ST leader, and by a chairman of the board who is appointed by him.
And it's also about optics. It's also about optics, isn't it? Yes, we may say that this is just about politicking from both sides and the investigations are doing their job. But when we talk of justice, yes, justice needs to be done, but it needs to be seen to be done as well. And Lavanya Badal, this is about optics.
Absolutely. More
Lavanya Badal, right now, is the Congress or the Chief Minister effectively able to counter the narrative that the BJP is trying to put, or is this just a missed opportunity? You could have done it perhaps much better, like Dr. Itnar was saying, on the floor of the House.
Well, there is an investigation judiciary committee set up for MUDA, and when it comes to the cooperative bank scam that he's talking about, there has been a case by one of the employees who said he's been forced by investigative authorities to mention the former minister, Mr. Nagendra, as one of the guys who has pressurized him to commit the crime. So, no, all I'm saying is at this point of time, yes, it could have been discussed in the Vidhan Sauda. It could have given a better optics for the Congress party. But I think all of us can agree Congress has never been good at optics. It has never been good at PR management or the headlines management. They have always been, I think, somebody who has failed at that, and they should learn all of that from the BJP. To that point, yes, I concede to Mr. Hitnal. He's right. Yes.
So perhaps there should have been a debate. At least there's one demand, Mr. Rangappa, of yours that the Congress has conceded to. But at the end of the day, we are holding the Vidhan Sauda at ransom. A lot of business that needs to be done is not being done because there are sit-in protests that are happening, there are sleep-in protests that are happening, there's ruckus and adjournments that are happening. That's not why these MLAs were elected there.
No. Basically, what is the house there for? It is a democratically elected house where the members should be given the right to discuss any corruption allegations or corruptions that have occurred in the Karnataka state. It is a basic democratic right. Number one. Please listen. Let me complete. So, this democratic right of the house has been denied by the Congress party, who are calling themselves the safekeepers of the constitution. Number one. Number two, will Siddaramaiah investigate himself? He wouldn't. He is the chief minister. The allegations are against his wife. So how is it going to be a fair and complete investigation? Number two, Mr. Siddaramaiah, he has already made so many commissions. Kempanna commission to investigate the Arkavati layout scam. Then he made the Ragmohan Das committee to investigate the scams of BJP. Till today, what has happened? Nothing has happened. So they find it very formal and very convenient to make a judicial statement and judicial inquiry and happily sit back till it comes after 4 or 5 years. And then if you want to...
Sure, so there's no logical conclusion, Lavanya Ballal, that these committees reach.
Then what happens to the issue?
That's the allegation, that you buy time by constituting these committees, but they don't actually get anywhere. So at the end of it, there are no answers that are forthcoming.
Poonam, Justice Nagmohan Das is investigating the corruption that happened during COVID scam, and Siddaramaiah will not benefit in any way by protecting the BJP leaders who were involved by their own leaders' words. Mr. Raghavendra Hitnal. The senior BJP leader said there is a 40,000 crore scam. As of today, when I visited the department and I asked for an update, I was told the scam is so huge. It is so huge, the scope of the scam. It will take ages for the scam to be investigated. Meanwhile, the people, the contractors who supplied medicine at that point of time have not been paid. And they cannot be paid till the scam is investigated. Do you see the repercussions of that scam? So when the BJP spokesperson says we are not taking it to conclusion, it is going to take time because the scope of the scam is so huge. We all want justice.
Sure.
That's our end goal. Yeah.
Sure,
So that is the lame excuse you want to give.
Sure, no, okay.
That is the lame excuse you want to
investigation
give
is going on.
participating in the
Mr.
debate.
Rangappa, that's an argument the BJP has made in multiple other states and at central level in multiple other cases, that the investigation is going on, let it reach its logical conclusion. The Congress also has the benefit of using that particular argument in itself. But this is about the narrative war and the optics, and who really is winning at that? That's the question we wanted to ask. Perhaps the Congress, they're conceding that they've never been good at it and something that they could learn from the BJP about that. But I have to leave it at that. I thank you all. Unfortunately, I'm completely out of time, sir. I thank you so much for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective. A quick break on this edition of Plain Speak. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
Co-powered by.
Right, thank you so much for that, Vivek. And on that note, we are slipping into a very short break, coming right back. Now getting some breaking news from Maharashtra. Schools in Pune, Pimpri, Chhindwara and nearby areas have been shut today as rains batter the region. Besides Pune city, the order to shut schools also applies for Pimpri, Chhindwara, Bor, Vele, Mawal, Mulshi and other areas of Maharashtra. In fact, the Met Department has issued an orange alert for Mumbai and Palghar, and there has been a red alert that's been issued for Navi Mumbai and Thane. My colleague Yesha has more details. Yesha, what is the situation of the rainfall in the region? And now that we see orange and red alert in various places in Maharashtra, what is it looking like for not just the schools being shut, but also for general colleges and offices that will be allowed to function?
So when you speak of the situation of rains in not only Mumbai but various parts of Maharashtra, as of now, of course, heavy rains continue in most of the parts of the state. Particularly when you speak of Pune, Mulchi area, as well as Baudhan, apart from that Raigad area, is where we've seen waterlogging. In fact, in several places in Pune, waterlogging is there's 2 to 3 feet waterlogging, where there are several NDRF teams which have been deployed in and around Pune to rescue people. Apart from that, of course, there are we also see that there is a heavy rain alert for the next 48 hours in the entire state of Maharashtra, in Raigad as well. We see that heavy rains have been experienced, which is where not only Pune but also Raigad, schools in Raigad have also been declared off for today, considering the heavy rains. Yes.
Also, Yesha, what is the situation looking like in Mumbai? Considering a little bit of rain, especially in low-lying areas, really spells a lot of havoc there. It is a trouble for commuters, to say the least. So what is the situation there?
So yes, of course, there's been incessant rains in Mumbai ever since late last night. However, as of now, schools and colleges have been kept. As of now, there's no holiday declared for schools and colleges. But of course, several low-lying areas, like you rightly mentioned, including Andheri subway and several such locations, they've been there is waterlogging that's been experienced, and such subways have been shut. So yes, though we see that when it comes to local trains, it's the lifeline of Mumbai. That in fact impacts the most. That impacts the commute most in Mumbai. As of now, those are running well, but when it comes to several low-lying areas, there is waterlogging that's already started in several parts of the city. Yes.
Right, thank you so much for that, Yesha. Let me also take this across to my colleague Vivek Gupta from News 18 India, who's with us on the broadcast. Vivek, the situation in Pune and other adjoining areas has really worsened. Orange and red alerts for Navi Mumbai as well. What is it looking like for this entire week, considering there's one more day for the schools to probably be allowed to not function because of the rain? So what are you learning in that regard?
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। देखिए, पुणे में कल देर रात से काफ़ी ज़्यादा तेज़ बारिश हो रही है और इतनी ज़्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से पुणे कलेक्टर ने डिसाइड किया है कि सभी स्कूलों को अब पुणे में बंद कर दिया गया है और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जितने भी आसपास के इलाके हैं वहाँ पर फ्लडिंग हो रही है। फ्लडिंग की वजह से रोड और घरों तक पूरा तरह से पानी भर चुका है। लोगों को काफ़ी ज़्यादा परेशानी झेलनी पड़ रही है। इसी वजह से अब पुणे कलेक्टर ने एक एडवाइजरी जारी की है और साफ तौर पे कहा है कि पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित कर दिया गया है। सभी स्कूलों को बंद कर दिया गया है, जिसके बाद जो भी इमरजेंसी काम ना हो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, क्योंकि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यह है कि खड़कवासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी को छोड़ा जा रहा है। अगर बारिश इसी तरह कंटिन्यू रही तो पुणे के आसपास के इलाकों में और भी पानी भर सकता है। यही वजह है कि पुणे कलेक्टर ने सभी लोगों से कहा है कि कोई भी जरूरी काम ना हो तो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, गवर्नमेंट और प्रशासन की हेल्प करें और गवर्नमेंट और जो वहाँ के लोकल म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन है वो अपनी पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो फ्लडिंग एरिया है वहाँ से जल्द पानी को निकाला जा सके। लेकिन अब जो स्थिति है वो ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं दिख पा रही है। कई इलाकों में खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं पुणे और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के, वहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा पानी भर चुका है। जैसा मैंने आपको बताया कि खड़कवासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी छोड़ने की वजह से जो फ्लडिंग है वो और भी होती जा रही है और पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित किया गया है।
Right. Also,
the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Prime Time Studio.
The hard facts coming to you from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Primetime Studios. Viewers, let me begin today by giving you a sense of just how much the Congress has reneged on its own past. The party was once the preserve of men of steel like Sardar Patel. The heroic nationalist icon who unified India, sanctified Bharat's geographical contours, sent in the army to flush out splittists from Junagadh and Hyderabad who battered